Captain, Captain, come quick. Crew X has murdered Crew Y. What? अरे बाकी काम कम थे क्या जो अभी मर्डर करना शुरू कर दिया लोगों ने? सेकंड मेट, जल्दी से मर्डर वाली चेकलिस्ट निकालो. What part of my training you think I should be ready for something like this as a captain of the ship where somebody is murdering somebody? Which part of my training can prepare me for something like this? It's only the experiences of somebody who's gone through it. No college can teach you. Keep watching. I'm going to share with you what happened on my ship, and we are going to discuss the murder which lately happened on one of the ships internationally. Hey guys, welcome back. Captain Amit Bhandari. Navigate the ship of your life. I'm a relationship facilitator helping you make better relations on the ships, in your homes and in your corporate office. I'm a life coach, hypnotherapist, counselor, karma manager, and I'm also into Rising Point and REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Technique. These are amazing tools. There's also something called Soul Temple. Soul Temple has got nothing to do with the temple, but it's got everything to do with the one sitting inside you. I'm also a theta healer, and that's it. Nothing more. Let's get straight to the topic of today, the murder which happened on one of the vessels. The most important thing is to attend to the person who is hurt. As soon as the captain reaches the site, it's not like any human being is going to be ready with what he sees. But as soon as you get to the site, your first attention has to be the first aid to the one who has been stabbed. You're also going to simultaneously attend to the one who has stabbed him, because maybe there is a cross injury, and the safety of the crew is the most important for any captain. Can you imagine the mindset of the one who has stabbed him 17 times? What kind of frustration is running in his mind? What is he really thinking when he was doing this? What can be so frustrating and so irritating? Maybe there are issues back home, sign-offs not happening, all these things causing them to get into an argument which may be starting with the ship's work, but resulting in both of them getting into a fight and finally murder. As soon as you get to the person who is being stabbed, you cannot certify whether the person is dead. Would you treat it and agree that your own brother lying there, is he dead? No. Same way a captain cannot do that. He needs to put all his efforts, including his team, second mate, bringing in all the medical equipments available to revive this person and to give him first aid. You will go for CPR. You will immediately check whether he's got a pulse. You will check whether he's breathing. If any of these things are happening, it's a very good sign. And you need to immediately try and revive the person, move him to the hospital, and take radio-medical advice. You must immediately legally also handcuff the other person and put him under arrest. There are handcuffs with the ship's captain on board, and put him under arrest. But of course, do check if he is also hurt, and you will need to attend to him also. We need to understand this is a very rational behavior. We are saying, अच्छा किसने किसका मर्डर किया है, अच्छा तुम वहाँ जाओ, इसको हथकड़ी पहनाओ. You know, the scenario is not going to be like that. It's going to be a lot of emotional drama happening there. You will need to deal with the emotions of the people there. There's going to be hot arguments happening. There's going to be this man moving around. Maybe he's already so aggressive, and the fact that he has now murdered and he doesn't know if the person is dead, but if the person is dead or he has hurt him very badly, he may still be very aggressive. He may think his career is going to end. He may even jump overboard. He may even try to suicide, because now his mind is totally screwed. Master and the crew has to have the balls to deal with this. And even if not, there are a lot of ways to deal with it. We will go through it, continue with it. Following this, you need to see the rational aspect, you need to see the emotional aspect, you need to see the legal aspect. After the safety of the people has been taken into account, I'm hoping that you are out at sea and you're not in some channel or you're not in port. If you're in a channel, along with this, the safety of the vessel is going to be so important. Because you can't, as a captain, leave the bridge, come running, oh, you murdered you, okay, do this, do that. You have to immediately anchor your ship. You have to immediately also order the pilot to tell him to put the ship at a safe spot and stop engines and drop anchor and get safe, and then you can attend to another critical emergency. So, assuming now the ship is out at sea, so you will ensure the watchkeeping is continued. You will need to immediately instruct simultaneously, if possible, with a single message to the company that so and so has happened. Knowing that the company will, if they are smart people there, they will not start calling you up on the satellite phone, kya hua, because obviously the captain is busy. And the captain should also mention in the message that I will make a report within the next 1 hour on the situation. But it's a matter of first aid and death, so maybe you might have to report a little earlier or pick up the phone to them. You may be in a different time zone, your DPA may be sleeping, so these are all aspects a captain needs to take care about. Assuming you have done this, you immediately, with the intimation to the company, must inform the nearest Coast Guard, you must inform the RCC, you must inform the PNI clubs, you must inform the H&M, because very soon maybe you have to deviate the ship, and deviation means moving out of the normal route that the vessel is going to take. You are going to have to inform insurance, because you deviate without informing insurance, and if something happens in your deviation, you will not get a single penny of insurance money. Why is that? Because insurance needs every reason not to pay you. That is the golden principle. So in such a case, you have to be 2 steps ahead of everybody as the captain or the senior officer of the vessel. If the vessel is in port, you're probably lucky. I mean, you're not really lucky because you have a murder on your ship, but you're still relatively luckier because you can inform the local police immediately and they can come and take over the situation. You can immediately inform the ambulance and you can inform the PFSO, the Port Facility Security Officer. Don't forget to inform the NOK, the next of kin of the person who is hurt. But maybe sometimes it's best the captain does not do this and he informs his company. The company will take care of these part of the issues. Captain must record everything possible. Take photographs of the situation, take statements of whoever was around. Quickly take a statement of the one who is talking. Nowadays we have mobiles, you can take a video statement immediately. Note down the time. If your vessel is at sea, note down the position. And in your follow-up reports to the company, you must regularly keep updating them. Follow your flag rules, MS Act if you're part of the Indian flag. Follow your company's ISM systems on what it says on how to report for an emergency. You will be having an emergency report form, accident form. However, these forms sometimes become little impractical. So you can always keep the company updated with a telephone call followed by emails. Always, as a captain, remember, always follow up. Even if there's a phone call, always follow it up with an email. Because the company can turn around and say something else. Nahi captain, aapne ye nahi bataya, aapne wo nahi bola. I'm sitting on the other side, so I can tell you. Although we are all very decent people, but we can all tend to forget. So writing is very, very important. Take statements, I already mentioned that. As quick as possible, make your own captain's statement of facts, the SOF. What happened? When you heard? Because as captain, you don't want to say, isne usko chaku maar diya. You don't know. You only heard second mate call you or this one call you. So make sure you record exactly that. At so and so time, this one called me, informed me, I ran down. When I reached there, I saw this lying there, I saw this man shouting, I saw him lying on the floor. This is the picture which I immediately got from the second mate. These were the other people around. What were the sounds you were hearing? Suppose you want to say that people were having a heated argument. What were they saying? You need not really specify the MCs and the BCs, but and of course if they are not Indians, you may not be hearing that. But what I'm trying to say with a light humor here is it's very important that you become the eyes and ears of what exactly happened. Make these log entries, make your official logbook entries, and once the immediate situation is in control, the first aid is done, and then you can think about the deviations. If you're deviating, you got a lot of rational issues to think of. Which is the nearest port? Do I have the charts for that port? The appointed agents? What is the entry procedures? Maybe if the person is very critical and the port is not very far, you can even look at helicopter evacuation, and you may need to then prepare for a helicopter to arrive. So guys, it is a lot of subcategories of jobs which increase for a captain and the ship's crew, because end of the day you are only those 12 to 15 people. उसमें भी एक का मर्डर हो जाए और दूसरा चला गया अंडर अरेस्ट, क्या क्या देखोगे यार. So guys, try to live like a family, you know. We have enough work on the ships, not to add to a murder. What emotional trauma? What about the captain? He's also human. What trauma he's going to go through with somebody having murdered somebody? How do I deal with this in my own head? How do I even accept the fact that maybe the one who has been stabbed is somebody? He was a very nice boy and he was my close person and they're all my family. I have a trauma to deal with. What about the trauma of the person who has stabbed the other one? That person may also be very unstable. Captain will have to act like a counselor after taking care of himself. Don't forget the principles: self, relationship, work. Now somewhere this is relationship and work. It's together. But your self needs to be very strong on the inverted triangle, whoever has watched that video of mine. The trauma, and then the trauma of the rest of the crew. My dear, just assume this person dies while the ship is at sea. Today, the next of kin, everybody wants the body back. Now I'm getting to absolute raw conversation. Everybody wants the body back. The family doesn't want to say, by you embalmed him or you put him in the water. Earlier days, they used to just wrap them in a flag and just release them and throw the body in the water. Calling and saying some mantras or calling the priest or whatever and making a log entry. What position did you throw the body out? That is not allowed anymore. The next of kin, they want the body. People want to do the last rites. Captain has to be very careful about these things. In that case, how do you preserve a body? You preserve a body in your fish room, in your meat room. The ship has such a big, freezer rooms, we all know that. But look at the emotional drama. Pick up the body, wrap it up, clean it. By the way, before you call it a body, how do you decide whether the person is dead? There are 7 signs that a person is dead. But I'm not taking this video that side, and that under the radio medical advice, the person will have to consult, and then only the captain will have to certify on the log entry that this person is dead. Right? You can't be putting somebody who's got the last breath remaining, putting him in the freezer. वो जितना बचा था वो शायद बच जाता, उसको भी तुमने फ्रीज़र में डाल दिया. So it's very complicated. It's not as easy as we think. अरे मर्डर हो गया, बाप रे, very sad. No, there is a lot of legalities, there's a lot of complications. Now assuming that you have confirmed and the person is actually dead and you've certified him dead, you've made your log entries, you've done your legalities and you've wrapped the person, and you've put him or her in the freezer, what about the emotional trauma? The fish, the meat, the mutton is all taken out of that freezer and you put a body inside. If your ship has got another 5 days voyage or 4 days voyage to the next port, what happens to the crew? The cook will shit bricks to go to that freezer room or to the next freezer room where we have our fresh vegetables. And this food, of course, you will transfer to some local fridge and all that, because you're not going to hang your mutton along with the body next to it, right? Imagine the trauma of the cook. We've had situations where there are people have died on board, but in such a case, also having a body in the freezer is nothing less than a scary movie. Everybody gets scared. रात को 2 बजे कौन अपने कैबिन से निकलेगा बाहर? ड्यूटी ऑफिसर कैसे रात को 2 बजे वॉच करेगा? नीचे एक बॉडी पड़ी हुई है अकोमोडेशन के अंदर आपके फ्रीजर में. But you have to still deal with it. The captain himself will go through the trauma. I went through something where I think this video will get too long if I start talking about it. I had a death on board while we were alongside. I could not sleep for 2 to 3 nights. I'll probably talk about it in another video because it has a lot of details in it. People normally would be very scared, so you need to, as a captain, let people be off work. They will need to move around only in pairs of, a pair is already a 2, so they'll have to move in a pair because everybody gets scared. हमें ऐसे लगता है accommodation में पीछे से वो आ रहा है, जैसे वो चल के आ रहा है. सबको डर लगता है, बहुत ऐसा लगता है भूत आ गया है जहाज में, सब लोग डर जाते हैं. और उसके बाद इन लोगों का जो रिलीवर आना है, वो relievers तो will get further scared thinking that there is the last ones have been killed and that cabin may be haunted. Lot of shit happens. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has given you some value on what to do in case of murder, because we don't have a checklist. Murder का checklist निकालो, वो होने वाला नहीं है. But you need to be emotionally very strong in such situations. Take care of yourself. Yourself is very important. Only then the relationship and the work will happen. Watch my other videos if you've not seen that. And do share this with family and friends. I don't know who, because not very often we deal with murder, but do share it for general knowledge of everybody and for our senior officers, senior friends. Captain Amit Bhandari logging off for now. Bye bye.